OK, what about Hearts now? 3 league games without scoring, more late wages, then a potentially tough trip to Tannadice. The story of their match against Dundee United with Jane Lewis.
Hearts hadn't won in the SPL since the opening day of the season, and Radoslav Czerniak had to look lively early on after a nice swivel and shot from Scott Robinson. Despite a couple of pointers from the Dundee United manager, Hearts, who hadn't scored in their last 3 matches, went ahead. Ryan McGowan with all the hard work. Robinson's hooked-in shot was cleared, but the danger wasn't over. Danny Granger put the ball back in, and Callum Patterson pounced when it fell to him. That was the 17-year-old's first goal for Hearts. Granger's ball found its way to him, and he kept it low to beat the Dundee United keeper. Now, what is it they say about Edinburgh buses? Well, the same might apply to Hearts goals, as another came quickly along. Arvidas Novikovas with the ball, but the Dundee United defence retreated. 2-0 to Hearts, with the Lithuanian getting his second of the season. Dundee United hadn't scored in their last 2 SPL games. In fact, their last league win was in the Dundee Derby last month. They created chances at home. Stuart Armstrong eventually got a shooting chance here, but Hearts keeper Jamie McDonald equal to his efforts. McDonald then had the woodwork to thank later in the game as Gavin Gunning's header crashed off it. Michael Gardine's follow-up just wide. The home side might have taken some belief from those efforts, but slack play didn't help their cause. Ryan McGowan and Czerniak raced for the ball. Patterson was there for the follow-up. Sean Dillon's back pass, a poor one to his keeper, as Hearts took advantage. Some of the home fans felt there was no point in hanging around, but it could have been worse. Andrew Driver's shot across the face of goal should have been tucked away by John Sutton, but 3-0 it finished, and Hearts celebrating only their second league win of the season.
So what are we to make, Craig, of what's happening at Hearts?
Yes, it's a strange world down at Tynecastle, but the players keep producing results. The wages aren't paid, then they are paid. They just seem to be able to put these things to the side and go and get the job done. They were struggling going into this game, but to go to Tannadice and come out with a 3-0 victory, fantastic effort from John McGlynn's side. And
in Callum Patterson, Jim, they seem to have unearthed a real talent. He's only 17, certainly doesn't look it. I mean, you can see here the presence he has up front.
Yeah, well, I saw him for the first time last weekend when we played him, and you know, he certainly impressed me on that day. And obviously, today to open his account with a double was a fantastic day for him. He's a big, strong lad. He's very mobile as well, and I don't think there's anybody in a better position at Hearts than John McGlynn to unearth these young lads that are in the system there.
I wonder where he's going to play him next, because he started at right back, then midfield, then up front.
Everywhere bar goalkeeper so far, but it just shows you if you get the right kind of coaching as a kid, you can play football. You can stick him here, there and everywhere. If you have the skills, you can make it work, and what he is a good physical presence. You watch him going head to head with the 2 centre backs here. He will ruffle feathers. He'll go up there and he will knock people about, and that's exactly what Hearts need. And for a young kid, he can only get better. Big player for Hearts in the future.
It's one of the positive features of the SPL this season, isn't it, that kids like Callum are getting a chance?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the finances at the clubs have dictated, you know, obviously every club now has to look to the youth system to bring players in and hopefully use them as assets in the future and sell them on. But no, he's a huge positive for Hearts, and you know, fair play to him. He's had a great start so far to the SPL.
Dundee United seem to have been badly disrupted, Craig, by the loss of Gary Mackay-Steven for a while, and recently John Daly as well.
Yeah, it's strange how a couple of players can make such a difference. They started the season flying, 3-0 against Hibs, 3-0 against Dundee. Then 4 games they've picked up 2 points and scored just the 1 goal. So they need to get their big hitters back in the team, because a lot of people fancied United for second place.